another edition of Women Crush Wednesday. It's been a little bit since we've done one of these. As you know, we try and profile women within the community that are doing great things, that are in leadership positions, and that we feel have something that they can pass along to those that are coming up the ladder, those that are starting out in their career, or those that are established but looking for how can they grow personally. So we are chatting today with Megan Spruit, who is the president of Grand Rapids Metrology. Hi, Megan. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Megan's going to chat a little bit about the company itself, which is almost 100 years old,
Yes.
which is huge. So that in itself, I mean, that's quite the accomplishment. I'm sure you've been around since 1922,
Yeah,
so you know all the history. And then the fact that she is the incoming president, which is a phenomenal. I mean, it's just phenomenal in general. Like we talk about there's not a lot of women leadership in those C-suite levels, and you're coming into the company now, which has been your 5th generation, correct?
I am.
Okay,
I am, yes.
awesome.
Yeah, so Grand Rapids Metrology, as you said, been around since 1922. We used to be Grand Rapids Scale Company. We changed our name in 2013 because we've expanded a lot of what we do. And so our new name, Grand Rapids Metrology, just encompasses our full scope. So metrology is the science of measurement.
Okay.
So we do so much more than scales now. We're testing equipment that measures temperature, electronics equipment, dimensional, force, torque, pressure. So it's not necessarily a service that a lot of people know about.
Right.
It's kind of a niche industry, but it's everywhere. I mean, we work with companies, manufacturing, agriculture. We're recently getting into medical, both hospitals and medical manufacturing, medical device manufacturing. With our increased scope, and just because it's so prevalent here, the medical community in West Michigan,
huge.
definitely wanted to capitalize on that. 5th generation, so it's actually my mom's side, so she owns the company. She's not active in the company. My dad is the CEO, and I've been with the company for about 6 years now in a variety of roles. I've done sales and marketing, I've done service. I started out, in high school sweeping the floors.
That's awesome. You hear people say that, but you're like, did you really?
Right.
Like she did.
Right, I did. And it was never, when I was growing up, it was never talked about really that I would be part of the business. I went to school, away from Grand Rapids, born and raised here, but went away to Indiana for school and then went and got a job in Chicago for 4 or 5 years. Which I think is really important in a family business to get some outside experience, not only to gain some perspective on the outside world, but also I feel like it gave me the confidence to know I could make it outside of the family business. I could be on my own and be successful on my own. So I definitely recommend that to anybody who's thinking about entering in their family businesses. Leaving for a while, getting some exposure, bringing what you've learned back, and just having that credibility, you can make it on your own.
What brought you back?
Yeah, so I was working in business development for Ace Hardware's international division, in Chicago, which was really fun. I have a degree in international management. Who would have thought I would actually find a job in that?
Right.
But I did. It was great. But I worked out in the suburbs, lived in the city. The commute was kind of hectic. Looking kind of for something different, a change in careers. And my dad and I just started having conversations. We had conversations for about 6 months about the possibility of coming back. Would there be a place for me? Because he wasn't just going to make up a position for me. And there was in a sales and kind of marketing business development role. And so I just decided to move back. I always wanted to come back and be close to my family. My parents live here, my sister lives here, and it's just such a great community. So I decided to move back, and the rest is history, and here we are.
So your role, obviously, as president, talk a little bit about what those responsibilities are, and and then maybe go into a little bit the challenges of working within a family-owned business. I mean,
Sure.
we have the Family Business Alliance here. There are a lot of family-owned businesses within, the West Michigan community, and that in itself, I mean, being the president is that's enough of a challenge, and then obviously working with family.
Yeah, the Family Business Alliance, we're a big part of that, and it's been a huge positive influence in my life because there are unique challenges to working with a family business or working within one, and nobody knows that more than other people working in family businesses. So we
probably like a little bit like therapy.
It really is. So we have this group called Next Gen, and it's these kind of peer groups of next generation people in family businesses. We get together once a month and we just talk about challenges and issues we're having, and also best practices. And it's been phenomenal. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So shout out to the Family Business Alliance.
Awesome.
It's great. So my role now is mostly the head of operations. So the sales team and the service team report to me. We have a director of finance who handles kind of the financial and the administrative side of things. Also, we have a marketing person that reports to me. So I'm dealing with big projects that we're working on, selling, and then making sure our service is up to par, and working on some scope expansion. So we're an accredited calibration lab, so a lot of companies, specifically in manufacturing, have to have their measurement equipment certified by an accredited company per ISO standards and FDA and USDA and a million different regulations that we have nowadays. So we become accredited by a third party, and then we go in and certify that equipment. So their measurement equipment is very important to them. The accuracy and the documentation and the quality is extremely important. So we want to make sure that we are up to par on all of our documentation and that we provide really good customer service. We also do a lot of repair work. So a lot of times customers' scales are their cash registers. And so if their scale goes down, they don't make money.
Right.
So we have 24/7 emergency service, and so just making sure that we're stocked and we're ready to go, and that we provide amazing customer service. We like to say we want to create raving fans.
Right.
So not just satisfied customers, but customers who actually kind of rave about our service, because we really are a customer service business.
Well, and when you think about, it's almost bringing like the West Michigan mentality to that.
Definitely.
But you guys you're so much bigger than GR as well. I mean, you're in Benton Harbor, Bay City, Battle Creek, and Metro Detroit. I mean, that in itself as a whole, I mean, you're trying to manage.
It is. It's big. Yeah, we started in Grand Rapids, obviously headquartered here, but big customers kind of drew us to expand. We work with some of the big car companies in Detroit, and they take us, some of our big customers take us all over the country, all over the world. We've done custom systems in India and Mexico, Poland. We're thinking about going to China soon to do some. So we focus primarily in Michigan, but we'll go anywhere.
And you grow with your customer base, which is so smart.
Exactly.
So smart.
Yeah, and that's what kind of led us to diversify our services into equipment that they use in the medical industry, because it is so big here. So we try to capitalize on that as well.
Who would you say, leadership-wise, that you look up to?
Well, yeah, I'm really lucky to be able to work with my dad. I mean, he's been a mentor of mine and a role model for my whole life, and he is such an amazing leader. He is extremely personable, and people are just drawn to him. And so I think growing up, or when you're young, things are much more black and white, and right and wrong, and he's really taught me that, I mean, really nothing's black and white. And you have to take everything in context, and really just build relationships with people. People do business with people they like. And, and internally as well, we're trying to retain really good employees. And so So building some programs around like career development, career path.
Culture's so huge.
Yeah, it is. And we were just, for the second year in a row, we were named one of West Michigan's best and brightest companies to work for.
That's so awesome.
Which we're really, really proud of because we work hard to make sure that this is a company that people are proud to work for.
Right.
And then I would say, again, going back to the Family Business Alliance, there's so many amazing family business leaders, especially the women in the group, because you're not only working with family, you're not only, a woman in typically a male-dominated industry, but you also have to balance having a family too. And when you have a family business, that kind of is your baby, but it can't be your whole life.
Right.
So they do an amazing job with balance. I don't have kids yet. I want to someday, and so I think they're really role models on how to have that work-life balance, because it can be really, really tough.
Oh, very challenging. What's one thing that not a lot of people know about you?
Oh my gosh.
I know this is a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, so I got my degree in international management, also got a dual degree in Spanish. You wouldn't know that about me now because I've lost a lot of it. So I don't like to tell a lot of people because they're like, oh, say something. And I'm like, well, give me 10 minutes and I can probably form a sentence. I studied abroad 3 times. I love to travel. I love to immerse myself in different cultures. And when I went to Spain for half a year, that was so cool.
Where were you in Spain?
I was in Salamanca.
Okay, I've never even heard of it.
Which, yeah, it's 2 hours west of Madrid. They say it has the purest Spanish in the world. It's one of the oldest universities, University of Salamanca. Lived with a family. It was amazing. And at that point, I was fluent in Spanish, which was really cool. Haven't used it a lot since, so I kind of lost it.
You should probably just go back there.
I know.
Just for like a month. It'd be fun.
I think I need a work-related sabbatical. Figure out how they're doing things over there in the metrology
research
world.
trip.
Also a huge animal lover. Really big into, my family's always big into the Humane Society, West Michigan, and then CSNP. My mom used to be on the board of CSNP, which is like a low-income spay clinic, and then they also do vaccinations for people that can't necessarily afford to take their animals to a proper vet.
Yeah.
They are proper vets there, but it's just keeping animals healthy because everybody deserves to have a pet.
We're 6. I mean, maybe that's a little bit much. What is one thing, leadership quality, that you hope to pass on, or you think is important for anybody watching, regardless of where they are in their career?
Yeah. So one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard, and I use to this day, and I use it kind of as my philosophy of business, is I think it was my dad that told me, never be the smartest person in the room. Surround yourself and build your team with people who are really, really smart, who know a lot about, the competency in which they work, and that can help you grow. I mean, me as a leader, I'm here to listen, I'm here to make decisions ultimately, but most of the time, I'm not the expert.
Mm-hmm.
So I've spent my years at Grand Rapids Metrology building a really good team, and they are also the reason I'm here today. I tell them they make me look good every day because they're the ones in the trenches, really, understanding our customers and what they need and providing them with really good service and good work and good products. So, I check my ego at the door. I try to be as humble as possible because I don't need to show off to anybody. I want really good, smart people and just kind of let them do their thing.
That is probably one of the best pieces of advice I've heard. And it's so hard for leaders to do that. I've always said that you hire, like you just said, you hire people that are smarter than you, and they're going to make you look good anyways. But give credit where credit is due, and it's your job as a business owner to they should be able to run without you. I mean, that's
the goal, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
To work yourself out of a job.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
How can people find out more about Grand Rapids It's Metrology?
Yeah, so our website's a great place. So it's www.grmetrology.com. We also have, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Grand Rapids Metrology. I think our Instagram handle is GR Metrology. We post a lot of fun things that we do on there. We do a lot of like community service projects and some of the cool applications that we're working on that people, might not ever know about otherwise.
Right.
We're really trying to, again, as the younger generation of people come up that are, our employees and also our customers, we're trying to do more online and on social media, because before people, would look us up in the phone book and give us a call, where it's like, no, people, what are the first things that people are doing? They're Googling us. So we're trying to enhance and increase our presence online, because we really are good at what we do, and so we just want to work on educating people as to what we do and how we do it.
Yeah, and you should be proud of that too. I mean, it's so hard for companies sometimes to like talk about all the great things that they're doing because they feel like it's bragging. That's also another West Michigan thing, and I say, go for it. If you're doing great things, and I mean, the company's been around for 100 years, so clearly you're doing something right. 5th generation. You're the president at such a young age, and you bring such this, it's only going to go out from here. Like, there's great things in store for you. I mean, like, it's exciting to talk to individuals like Megan, because you can feel like the excitement and like, now I want to go do something even bigger. I don't know what, but so is there one piece of advice or anything else you want to leave people with, or?
Gosh, I mean, just being a woman in business, you kind of feel like you have to work twice as hard, and you're, always up against the odds. I would say in my experience, yes, there are people who do have certain perceptions of women in business, but for the most part, if you work hard and do a good job, people really respond to that. And also just be kind, be interested in people, get to know people, form relationships with people, and that'll take you really far. That's what I've learned, and that's been probably the best thing that I've done, is let's get our eyes off the spreadsheet and just talk to people.
I mean, relationships is everything. I mean, that is what business is relationships. Well, thank you, Megan. That was amazing. I feel inspired. I'm sure everyone who's watching does. You know how to find Grand Rapids Metrology, and congratulations on your new role. It's just badass.
Thanks.
So if you know of another woman that you feel should be profiled on Women Crush Wednesdays, please reach out to us. You can Kim@834design.com, or you can find us anywhere online. So thanks for tuning in, everyone.